What's going on, guys? My name's Airfaded, and today I'm here to show you my 2005 BMW M3 E46 drag and roll race tune. Now, this is a tune that utilizes the stock S54 inline-six engine that comes in the E46. Makes a little under 1,000 horsepower and above 2,700 pounds. So, yeah, it's a pretty solid build for you guys, and let's not waste any more time and hop right into it. Alright, so hopping on in here to conversion, like I said, we will be keeping the stock S54 inline-six engine that comes with the car, as well as keeping it rear-wheel drive, and then we are adding a single turbo to it, and adding the Street Fighter LA wide-body kit, which just allows your back tires to be a little bit more wide, and it's not as aggressive as the AIM 9 GT one, so yeah, we're going to keep the Street Fighter LA one. Aero and appearance-wise, we are keeping the stock rear wing, and then for the tires, we have drag tires, obviously, all the way skinny in the front, and then 325s in the rear. And then for the wheels, you can go with whatever wheels you'd like. I chose the Volk Racing TE37s, but just try to pick something on the lighter side. And then hopping over to the drivetrain, we have race clutch, we have the race transmission 7-speed, which is basically just to help kind of keep those RPMs in the gears a little bit higher and a little bit shorter, and then just gives you that one extra gear at the end, basically. So, and then they have the race driveline and the drift differential, which allows you to shift just a tad bit faster than the race differential does. So, put the drift one in there, and then the platform and handling, we have race brakes, we have rally suspension or rally springs, whatever. Front and rear anti-roll bars are all the way upgraded to race, and then we have full race weight reduction. And then coming over to the engine, it is just going to be a fully built engine. I'll walk it through for you guys real quick. But yeah, you're just going to be fully upgrading every single part of the stock engine, which is one of the better sounding engines, at least stock engines in the game, from my opinion at least. But yeah, you just fully upgrade it, and at the end you'll be sitting at 972 horsepower and 2,808 pounds. So yeah, that's about it for you guys for the build. Let's hop out to the track and get you the tune. Alright, so now that we're at the track, let's go ahead and dive into the tune for you guys. So for the tire pressure, we have 36 in the front, 15 in the rear. For the gearing, we have a 296 final drive, and then 333, 246, 204, 174, 148, 127, and then 109 for the 7th. So you will be using all 6, even 7 gears at the end of the festival drag strip. But most of the time you'll just be using 6 gears if you're roll racing or just doing a shorter dig. But it's just, as you can kind of see from the chart, it's just kind of help to keep the power very high and consistent in the RPMs, because this car makes a lot of power in these in like the 8,000 RPM range. So keeping all these in the higher section is just overall kind of gives you some better performance there. So for the alignment, we have 0.5 in the front, just to keep the front tires a little bit more off the ground. Zeros for 0 in the rear, and then 0 for both the front and rear toe, and then 7 as the front angle caster. For the roll bars, we have all the way stiff in the front and the rear. Springs, we have all the way soft in the front, and then 503 in the rear, as well as maxed out ride height. For damping, we have 1 in the front and 10.2 in the rear, and then we have 20 and 20 for bump stiffness. Nothing to do with aero, nothing to do with the brakes. And then for the differential, actually it's not set as it should be, but it should be at 100 and 100, just like that. So that is the setup for you guys. Let's take this thing out. It seems like there's been a little bit of track destruction, but let's basically just show you guys how to launch this thing real quick. So if you don't know, this is actually kind of a unique car in more cars than not. I usually end up 2K launching with, but this car, because it's more of a roll race car, I actually kind of have it set up for a 4K launch, so let me show you how to 4K launch it. If you don't know, you just hold the brake, the gas, and you just tap the clutch, and it'll kind of rev through the gear cycle for you there, and you just kind of hold it as soon as you can, and it'll hold at about 4,500, and then you just launch it. So you can see these gears are very short, but it's just to help keep that power throughout the whole way. And so you're not really shifting too much. I mean, you are, but it's not, it's not that bad of a nuisance to keep on shifting, because you don't have to actually lift really. You can kind of just hit the clutch and shift up, and you're good. So, but that's how you launch the car. I'll show you how it launches as a 2K launch if you can't get it to do this, because sometimes you will kind of get locked into the 2K range. So obviously it doesn't leave as hard. But if you do what you gotta do, you can also try if you need to. Let me see if I can kind of trigger it to not let me go through the thing. Okay, so right here. So as you can see, you can't, tap the clutch in it and it'll do that thing. So if you were to launch it, it launches very soft. So if you do get in that situation, let's see if I can get into it one more time. It's kind of random how it happens, but if you do, you can just kind of hold down the red line, and you'll end up launching at least a little bit harder. So. Yeah, this car is really meant more for roll racing, and that first gear is a lot longer, just so you can launch in 50 for 40 roll, even do 60 roll if you wanted to. But we're going to show you what it does to the trap here for the quarter mile. So if you don't know how to see the quarter mile in this game, or how to kind of time it yourself, all you have to do is set your waypoint to 440 yards away. At that speed trap, or just set it at the speed trap, line up 440 yards away, and then you're good. So let's give this thing a launch and see what it does to the quarter mile. So you have it, 164.04 across the trap there, and let's go over to the bridge now real quick and just show you how it kind of launches if you were to roll race it. So very common to do the roll races at the bridge. So we're just going to show you a quick 40 roll here if you were to launch it. So as you can see, 40 roll, it keeps you at about 5,000 RPMs. So you still have a lot of RPMs to go in first gear. But yeah, so let's try it out here. And 175 across that trap. So yeah, it just utilizes the higher RPMs in the gears and allows you to really kind of just keep the power throughout the whole run. So I'll show you one more roll if we were to go from potentially 60, which it's kind of bold to do at the end of first gear, but you can do it. And then if you just shift very quickly, you can just kind of see how the car is just keeping that power all in the higher RPMs the entire run. And even if you go into 7th, you'll be able to get that extra little length at the end. So yeah, it's just nicer kind of in this game that you have a couple more transmission options, so you can kind of tune things more off of 7 or 8 gears rather than just the 6 that was typically found in Forza 4. So, but yeah, that'll be it for the video. If you guys enjoyed, please do subscribe and like and all that stuff. Leave any comments of any other builds you'd like to see. And yeah, thanks for watching, and goodbye.